Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. We have started it again, and the race to 2027 presidential election is not very far from us because politicians are making alignments and realignments to ensure that they capture the 2027 victory. So far, it is now crystal clear that we are going to have a three-horse race in the Kenyan 2027 elections because people are looking for Ruto's replacement. And especially the youths are saying that William Ruto used and hoodwinked them, and therefore they want to replace William Ruto come 2027. In fact, others believe that 2027 is even far. They even want to uproot him. It's not going to be a walk in the park. Now, the first formation that we have is that of William Samoei Ruto, Raila Amolo Odinga, and Musalia Mudavadi. It goes without saying that when William Ruto dissolved his cabinet, he incorporated Raila's team into that cabinet. And Raila is going for the AU Commission seat. If he captures that seat, it is believed that Raila will not contest in 2027. And there are rumors that even currently they want to impeach Rigathi Gachagua to replace him with someone from Nyanza. Those are street politics. But it is now crystal clear that Musalia Mudavadi will remain the prime minister. William Ruto is going for the presidency, and most likely he's going to take someone, Raila's ally, as a deputy president. So there is that formidable force, that of Ruto. He's a sitting president, he's got the money, the machinery, and everything. That is the first force. Number two is that one of Kalonzo and the gamer community. In the midst of the protests that were begun by Gen Zs, William Ruto has fallen out with this deputy. And even when they are saying that they want to impeach the deputy, one person has come to the defense of the deputy, and that is Kalonzo Musyoka. And they're even saying that come 2027, Kalonzo could be the flag bearer of the Gema because Gema has ditched William Samoei Ruto. Of course, there are a few people like Kimani Chungwa and Didi Nyora and all that. But the large electorate from Gema are saying that they were betrayed, especially now that Ruto incorporated Raila's team into his cabinet and even removed a Gema who was in the one of the Mount Kenya CSS at the Ministry of Finance. They have said that this is the height of betrayal. And so it is going to be either Kalonzo as the flag bearer with Rigathi Gachagua, or Rigathi Gachagua and Kalonzo, or any other team that they are going to form. But most likely it is going to be Kalonzo and one of the gamers. So that is also another formidable team that we must face in 2027. Now, with the emergence of Gen Zs, very many things came up. While the protests were going on, in social media, certain names kept on coming up. And they were saying, Fred Matiangi should be our flag bearer. Others were saying, Omutata has really fought for this nation. And then, Casmuel Makoure also revealed that he's got an appetite for becoming the president of Kenya in 2027, because he said that for a long time, we've had a two-horse race, Raila versus Kibaki, Raila versus Uhuru, Raila versus Ruto. And he's saying that both of them have been devils, so it is for us to choose a lesser devil. Raila's not going to be on the ballot most likely. So the third force is this one here. This is a news that I think most of us have now analyzed, and you've read it from The Nation. They said that Fred Matiang'i assembles machinery for 2027 Statehouse race. And the story goes that Matiang'i has taken a low profile ever since Uhuru left power, and you saw him being frustrated by Ruto, and they seem to have formed a truce. And Matiang'i was told to keep a low profile, and the government somehow retreated from frustrating him. Now, one of the factors that were being discussed here is that Fred Okeng Matiang'i has assembled his machinery for 2027. And it is said that he has contracted a Canadian firm. And this Canadian firm, let me just read that. The Canadian-based firm, Dickens and Madison, will be paid. And that one I wanted to get very clearly. Will be paid 32.5 million Kenya shillings to lobby the executive and all the legislative branches of the governments of powerful nations, including the US, UK, Japan, Kenya, and any other mutually agreed upon country or countries and international organizations on Mr. Matiang'i's behalf. So you can see it is serious. And it was said that the firm will also provide other services to assist in devising and executing policies for the beneficial development and stability of your political goals, and to assist you in attaining the office of the President of the Republic of Kenya. Now, that is Matiang'i. I don't want to read further. Now, the third force, as I said, is that of Fred Okeng Matiang'i, because somehow the Gen Zs had endorsed him. Of course, there is Omutata, and therefore I believe they are going to unite. And when Gen Zs endorse Omutata and Fred Okeng Matiang'i, because this seems to be a response to Gen Z's command or demand that Fred Okeng comes so that we support him. Mark Oure will be there with them, because Mark Oure seems to be banking on the votes of Gen Z. And since they understand that if they divide their votes, then they will not be able to capture it. So the three will be together. And so those are the three formations I'm talking about. Ruto, Raila, Mudavadi force, a very formidable force, very oiled, they have the money. Then we have Kalonzo and Gema, another very oiled if they so decide, because the Mount Kenya businessmen will be behind them. And of course, we have Okeng Matiang'i and Casmuel and Omutata. This will also be oiled because there are people who are tired of this government who will go and support them. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the first time, ladies and gentlemen. As we continue with this discussion, click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you whenever we release a video like this. And kindly give this video like so that it can be recommended to more people. Again, thank you very much for your continued support. Now, the two people who are really affected in this sense, if at all, Fred Okeng Matiang'i will make good his threat to give Ruto a run for his money. The two people will be affected are William Samoei Ruto and Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo was banking on Raila's support in 2027, but Raila seems to have this to be decided to supporting supporting Ruto's bid for 2027. And that means that Kalonzo Musyoka can no longer count on Raila's support. So Kalonzo is supporting on the Gema. But the Gen Zs, you see, there are many. The Gen Zs and the millennials are so many, so much that if they decide that they are rallying their support on one person, then Kalonzo is going to be disadvantaged. William Ruto is also going to be another casualty or victim here, because he does not want to go on record or on history as the first president to go for a first term. His record is not speaking anything good, because people are tired of the high taxes that have also been rejected by the courts, and it is because of the high taxes, the Finance Bill 2024, that caused the Gen Zs to lead a demonstration in the streets. Now, is there any cause for worry for William Ruto and Kalonzo Musyoka when Fred Okeng Matiang'i goes for presidency? Is there cause for worry? For Kalonzo Musyoka, I don't know, because it doesn't seem to be serious. If you ask me, that is my personal opinion. The reason why I feel that Kalonzo is not serious, when Raila had come out of the picture and the nation was saying that, oh, Raila's betrayed us and all that, Kalonzo was given a golden chance to prove that when Raila exits, he can now occupy that space, and he could have proved to the nation that is the one man who can now take people to the next level. Because even though people are accusing Raila that he has betrayed the nation, you cannot take it away from him that there are several things that he has done to this nation. He fought hard so that we get a new constitution. He was detained and the democratic space was expanded. Today, people can even, insult the president and nothing happens. So you cannot take it away from him, even though maybe the end is not good, but you cannot take it away from him. So Kalonzo should also take that opportunity to convince. Has Kalonzo convinced you that he's the man who can take us to the next level? Is he the man who can take people to Canaan? I don't know. It all depends on which angle you are looking at it. But I want us to measure on Fred Okengo Matiang'i and why Fred is becoming a threat to these two people, Kalonzo and William Ruto. Number one, you've seen there that they're going to pay this Canadian company 32.5 million shillings to lobby. Now, that tells you that there is money here. I don't know whether it is from Fred Okengo Matiang'i's pocket, or some people are coming in to sponsor, because in a presidential election, there are several interests, both locally and internationally. The internal and external forces are there. So this money is something that should worry, because since there is money, you cannot campaign without money. That is why some people are saying that Kalonzo has not kicked off his campaign because there is no money. Maybe when they settle on him as Mount Kenya, they'll pump in money. But as for now, no. So this money is something that is really scaring William Ruto, because they are worried who is going to sponsor Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Fred has got a record. When he was in the education sector, he eradicated exam cheating. He was very strict. He's known for his stringent measures, and he's serious. When he says something, it must be done. I only compare him to the late Professor Magoha and maybe the late Michuki. Those are the only people who, whenever they say something, it has to be followed to the letter. So his record speaks for itself, and it is something that is worrying. Compared to the record of William Ruto, people will tend to have Matiang'i as an alternative. And this is something that must worry William Ruto. The endorsement by Gen Z is the biggest worry, because Gen Zs have caused a storm in this country. And so when they settle on someone, these people will vote to the man. They only need to put a few structures and ensure that they get IDs, they rally themselves, they wake up. You saw them the way they were on the street. If they are tired of you, they are tired of you. They endorsed William Ruto in 2022, and they are now tired. So they seem to have endorsed Okengo, Fred Matiang'i, Omutata, and people like Casmuel will also be part of that game. And I know there are very many people will be there. It is the biggest worry for William Ruto, because if they wake up and decide that William Ruto is going to be a one-term president, surely it will. The other thing that must worry William Ruto and maybe Kalonzo and any other person who wants to plunge himself into the political scene is the Raila factor. Raila will not be on the ballot most likely in 2027. And they're coming from the same region, Nyanza. There are people who will be looking for an alternative, and most of them do not want Gachagua. That I can assure you, because of his manner of politics and the way he warned Raila and the way he's been talking about shareholders thing. So William Ruto was only the alternative because Raila has joined hand with him, and he has incorporated Opio and I think Attorney General there from Luoland, and of course finance. So these are positions that Luos have never held ever since independence of this country. So some of them seem to be very happy, but there's a majority, another school of thought that feels William Ruto rigged our victory, and therefore they have not welcomed or embraced the relationship, this kind of alliance between William Ruto and Raila Odinga. And so they can decide to vote for Matiang'i. They will only be looking for an alternative. At first, they were saying that we need to vote for Kalonzo. But Kalonzo don't seem to be convincing that he's the man. And now that he has gone to Gema, and most people from Nyanza don't like Rigathi Gachagua, I don't think they will be looking for, they can vote for Fred Okengo Matiang'i. And that is why William Ruto should be a worried man. My only worry with Fred Okengo Matiang'i is that we are trying to fight so that we become independent in how we do our politics. But once you have engaged a Canadian company, a Canadian firm, and you're now looking for support for those powerful nations, to me, this is my personal opinion, I could be wrong. I am one person who detests any kind of when you try to look for support from the US and UK, these are the people who have been meddling in our elections. We really want a situation where we elect our presidency without any external hand. So when I heard that he's looking for support from other nations, I don't know, maybe if it is in terms of money or something, but I don't think he needs to look for money. If Gen Zs decide, and Kenyans have decided that we are tired of this regime, we want to elect you, you don't need much money. And even if they give you the money, they will want it back. They will want you to give them contracts. They will want you to accept their demands. And this is the only problem I have with Matiangi. Otherwise, for Fred, someone I can support. But when you engage so much with the external, why is he looking for their support? Today we are crying fall of US, Meg Whitman, we are crying fall of the World Bank and the IMF. Because these people, when they support you, they want you to accept LGBTQ and things like GMO, their contracts. I know this is the only problem, and maybe I could be wrong, maybe there's something I don't understand about it. But if I take it from the face value that is looking for support of the external forces, the colonial masters, then to me that is wrong, and I stand to be corrected. Let someone just help me understand. No one has got monopoly of knowledge. So ladies and gentlemen, that is it. A 3-horse race. Where will you place your bet? Where will you place your bet? Is it William Ruto? Is it Kalonzo Musyoka and Gema? Is it Matiang'i and Omutata? Kindly